Hey everybody, happy Friday, happy SketchUp Live Day. It is Friday, 6 December, 2024. Year's almost over, folks. Believe it or not. And you're in the right place. You are on SketchUp Live, and so am I. My name is Matt, and with me is my co-host Aaron.
Hey guys, good to be here.
Good to have you. I'm happy to have you here for more reasons than one. One, of course, hey, just great conversation. You're a great just person to hang out with. But secondly, to help me out. I feel like this is how I preface or intro every stream that I'm on, is that I will need help. I am a noob. Or maybe an intermediate noob. I don't know. Anyways, yes, I'm here to, you read it in the name, the title of the stream today is context modeling. So the idea being you have kind of a site picked out, and you have buildings around or other things around that you need to kind of fill in your model to show what the surroundings look like, how they impact the site that you want to use for whatever you want to use it for. I don't have any use case in mind yet. I'll leave that to the chat. But yeah, so I'm going to show a couple different ways, I think, to go about getting this kind of information into a SketchUp model. I don't have a lot of experience doing stuff like this, so I've done it a couple times, but I'm interested to see, with your help, where we can get at the end of this around 2-hour chunk of time to see what we can come up with. So that's my disclaimer. Go ahead.
If I can just weigh in here and say that not knowing what you're doing is, in my opinion, the best way to get somewhere you've never been. No, I said that wrong, but it's more fun to watch somebody flail than it is to watch them, march right down the path. This is going to be a good time. And Matt, of course, undersells himself. He is not a noob. He is not the most experienced guy on the team, but he definitely knows his way around SketchUp. Some of it's probably from watching your co-host. That probably
Hey,
got some of the stuff in your mind.
In brushing up for today's stream, I definitely watched a few videos on the SketchUp YouTube channel, and they were very helpful in establishing some kind of meandering road that I may take today or may not. We'll see. But heck, awesome. That's all the intro I have to say. Is there anything else you want to say up top, or should we just get into it?
No, I think this is gonna be exciting. I'm excited to be here I'm excited to be a voice. I'm faceless, mouseless voice, and I'm looking forward to telling you what you're doing wrong and then just standing back with no accountability whatsoever.
That's exactly what I'm in need of today. So thank you. Let's hop
All
in.
right, let's roll.
Okay, so thanks everybody for joining. I saw some comments coming in. And at any point in this video, if you feel like you enjoy or got some value out of what you are watching here today, hey, drop a little thumbs up, a little like on the video. That definitely helps the almighty algorithm appreciate what we're doing here today. So we appreciate you watching and joining us. And if there's anything I do that you don't care for, let me know, please. Okay, so context, site, location. Where we're going to start is with the built-in location tools in SketchUp, which is add location. So that is in File, Add Location.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And in trying to think of a place that we could do today, not in the middle of this field that apparently is what it's picked out for me, but I was like, we do a lot of like US centric stuff, right? We do, because we're in the US, so that I guess makes sense. But this is the International SketchUp Show. We have people from all over the world, so I thought we should go outside of the bounds of the United States today. And I was thinking, well, there's a lot of Trimble offices throughout the whole world. So I picked one area that is in Sydney, Australia, because one of the Trimble offices is in Sydney, Australia. So that's kind of the opposite side of the world. I mean, it's across the Pacific, right? That's a big ocean.
It's close to as far away as you can get. That's definitely for sure. We do have a request.
Yes.
If you could move the chat on your OBS to the upper left instead of the lower right.
Certainly can. Look at this.
Can he?
We'll do anything for our audience. Here, I'll try to make it a little smaller too. Can you still read that? I don't know. I'll see. Okay. Thanks, folks, for the request there. Okay. So, I think the Trimble office is in a place called Chatswood, which is like over here somewhere. One thing that I was like, should I do the actual site? I wanted to like taller buildings. This is like the downtown area of Sydney. Like this is where the Opera House is, which check out our previous SketchUp live streams for the Sydney Opera House and also the Sydney Harbor Bridge, which I think is this one.
Yeah.
So maybe it's outside of the US, but we've kind of covered this area a little bit. But hey, let's build it out. Let's build out our Sydney model. So this is kind of like where the big, the tallest buildings in Sydney are. I was interested because I was looking for like an empty lot that I was like, okay, this could be a potential spot that you'd build on. The Transport Authority? I don't know. The government agency that does transport apparently owns some lots around town that are either just like vacant or in this case, the one I found is used for a parking lot. But I was like, there's a lot of people who have tried to get permission to build in there. There's a lot of like restrictions and stuff for, taking ownership of that land and constructing on it. But that one that I found is move location pin over here, is right over here somewhere. It's off Palmer Street. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. This right here. This lot. So you can see there's a lot of buildings, of course, around this, and then this is just like kind of an empty lot, which apparently they use for parking. So I'll put the little location thing right there.
The pin.
Yes, the pin. Oh wow. I can't think of words, but thankfully I don't really need to talk for the next couple hours, so I'm good.
Shh, no problem. Nobody listens anyhow, right, guys?
I'm
trying to trick you into admitting what I think, but yeah.
Either one, you're at the pub watching on mute, or two, you're probably listening to like music or a podcast with this on mute, which either way, I don't blame you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say is that Does this become an American mindset of you found an empty lot, so let's develop it immediately from across the world?
Let's gobble it up. I'm going to plant my flag here and say,
That's right.
this is mine. Um,
Mattsville.
so, there's a lot of options when you add location in SketchUp. You can add the 2D like imagery of it. You can add the 3D terrain mesh. You can change what the density or the quality of that stuff is. For the area right around the site, I'm going to start out in the SketchUp version by doing the highest quality of mesh, like highest density of terrain. And then you get this little pop-up that says it may take a few minutes. This is a relatively small area, but then I'm going to add some lower quality or lower resolution, I should say. It's all high quality, folks. Terrain kind of outside of this area. So this all looks good. Import site context. And it'll just take a moment to import the map.
I feel like we should talk to developers and get elevator music during import periods. Just to play in the background while you're waiting. Just
that would be nice. And you can't control it. You can't control the level.
No.
It only plays very, very loud.
Yeah, music of top 40 songs.
That actually sounds pretty nice to me. Maybe we should put a poll.
I'm gonna submit a request right now.
Yes.
I'm assuming you and I like it, so I'm assuming everybody's on board with it.
Yeah, 2 is a quorum. So
that's right.
So
what everybody I asked said yes.
100% of people polled were on board.
That's right.
So what this brings in is you can see the satellite imagery, and then it brings it into a tag folder called geolocation content with both the 2D and the 3D, which you can see there's some kind of terrain undulation going on here. But I don't just want the buildings that are like directly adjacent to the site. I also want more than that. So I'm going to go back to add location and say import. It'll show me where I previously imported. And then this is new to 2024. So if you don't have 2024, you're not gonna be able to do this exactly. But if you do, you can change the bounds and it'll actually snap to the existing import that you already have. So it just lines up exactly. There's no overlap, which is nice. So I will drag out, include a little bit of this Hyde Park over here. I don't know how much to do. That's fine. And then I'll lower down this mesh density. Maybe this medium?
I like that. If I don't know better, I go for medium.
Yeah. It's like a burger, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, just go medium.
Not too well, not raw. Nobody wants raw mesh.
Yeah, that'll get you in trouble.
Yeah. Get worms that way.
I was gonna say tapeworms. No, thank you.
Not again.
So again, just kind of dragging this out to get some lower quality, lower resolution pieces outside of our main site.
This is an awesome way. This is in the last year. This is the changes that were made to add location, and it is a great way to get a whole lot more context without a whole lot of weight to your model. So, yeah, this is an awesome workflow.
Yeah, you can see it all came in on the same tag folder, so that's nice. And then you can toggle on and off the different pieces that you have in here. Where if I change my face style and then turn on hidden geometry, you can see obviously this is a lot more dense than the not so dense outer part that we care less about. Face style. Okay, so I what I would do here, and this is again maybe not the correct thing to do, would be to, because these come in the same group that's locked. One thing that I gathered from watching particularly Eric's videos, because he has a lot of great videos, go back on our YouTube channel after the stream and watch if you want a more maybe professional workflow on context, site analysis, building, whatever you want to say. But is that he, because when he's dealing with terrain, you can't, it's harder to model directly on a surface that's not flat. So he'll model stuff above it and then kind of drop it down to that plane. So I'm going to unlock the group and then explode these two. And then so now I have my 3D and my 2D separate. So I'll select the 2D and move it vertically some amount, I don't know, 500 feet.
Nice.
And like the template that I'm in is in feet. Obviously, if you're in Australia, probably you're more used to using meters, I assume. Is that right? That's probably right, right?
I think that's probably a safe assumption on something like landscaping.
Yeah. But so I'll work with both. But okay, so first thing I'm looking at is that the axis is different than the global axis of the model. It's pretty much on a grid. I mean, this road kind of swerves around a little bit, but for the most part, these are on a grid layout. So I think I'll just try to reset the axis according to this picture. Is this how you would do it? Like this?
Looks good.
And just make sure the blue is pointing up, of course.
Blew up. Yeah, that helps.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because it's standard. But yeah, that's going to get it so you're closer to the grid. I mean, I wouldn't, something like this, close to the grid works, right? It's not essentially you're locked in 100%. So that should work.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess I can just straight up draw what I think is like the property boundary, which probably is not all the way to the street, but like here, and then I don't know. I'm already like second guessing myself. Like, is this even a reasonable?
No, you're thinking too much. That's thought is the mind killer. Wait, no, that's fear, but same thing.
And in looking for like, okay, so this is basically where that lot goes. A little bit later, I'll show some information or some like data that I found that is a little bit different than this, but this is fine for right now. And I don't know. Let's see. Let's select this and make a group out of it. And then I can make a new tag called like property line. And switch it to a tag called property line.
See, this right here is awesome use of basic functionality that people have been doing it too long, don't think to go back and do, which is a great way to present stuff. I mean, yeah, using those lines for tagging that stuff, that works perfect.
Cool. And then I guess it's about context buildings, right? So, there we have some information here with the satellite. So we could kind of just pull up some buildings over here. I guess it depends on the level of detail you need, right? I could go to like street view, and look up how tall this is, or like
Mhm.
um, what the details on the side of the building look like, and I'll probably do that a little bit later. Um,
Yeah, this is I have not done a whole lot of context buildings, but every time I did it, this is where my own internal monologue uh trips me up. Is, well, how big is this? How big is this? How big? And I would say, unless you're doing something like a daylight analysis or something like that, it probably doesn't matter. Couple stories tall.
right, get the general idea of what's going on across the street.
Right.
Um, and I do know from looking, this is a taller building that has
Mhm.
like kind of a couple different levels. Um, but I can kind of draw kind of general idea of what this is looking like. It was like, like I'm thinking to myself, is this smart or not? I don't know. But let's see. Oh, I forgot to group these. Whoops. Make group.
I think one of the things to think about too as you do context,
Mm-hmm.
um, again, some people here have watched me model and know that there's times where I get caught up in detail and that sort of thing and try to, oh, I got to do this, I got to do this. And with context buildings, you kind of want to stay away from detail. A lot of times the purpose of the context, of course, is going to change how much detail you need, but um there is a point where you go, okay, I don't want my context buildings to outshine my main building, right? So you want to kind of sometimes hold back a little bit and do less with some of your context buildings, enough so that there's an understanding of where that space is, but not so much that it takes away or makes your hero model less. And I think that's a big part of the right amount of the right amount of detail in the context model, is that it conveys what's there without overshadowing the real building, the important building.
Yeah. Um, and one part of this stream is that I'm not really going to be drawing the actual building. At least I don't think I'll have time. Maybe I'll be, so far done. I'll be like, oh, I can do an entire document set before the end of this stream, but um, probably not. Uh, but but yeah. So I mean, you get the idea. Like I said, you could go to I could do this. I could go to Street View, a little preview of what's going to happen later. Um, I know because I looked this up earlier that this is at 124 Palmer, Sydney, New South Wales. Um, no, that's not right. Okay, maybe not. Some other site. Here it is. Hey, what did I type
No,
in? Hey,
that's not right.
this is right over here. Um, but anyways, yeah, so I could pull my little Street View guy in, and look at like if this was important,
Yeah.
I could add all that extra information to the side of this building. Um, let's get a nice look at our site. Oh, yeah.
I'm interested to hear from people watching. Do you have a standard value you use for building heights? Like when I go in, if I look at something like that, I usually say 10 feet a floor. So there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'd make that about 70 feet to start. I'm just curious if people who have done this before have a question or have a thought on what they would use, or if there's a default value they would use for those heights.
There you go. That's better. Um, yeah, I don't, but I also don't do this very often. So you can probably assume that I don't have a existing workflow for this. So, I could, well, first of all, I'd group this as well. So I could put all these on a buildings tag. This, and then I guess I could reset this axis, and then this goes down 500 feet. Oh, not property line. I clicked on the wrong one. Boop, beep, bop, boop, bop. These should be on the buildings tag. And then I guess for this, I could drape this on this, right?
Give it a shot. See what happens. What's the worst that could happen, right?
Drape.
So we did get feedback. Transom said 10 feet per floor.
Okay.
Agradoville said just measure off Google Earth. Emin said 3 meters per floor, which is what Steven said too. And then Studio RT Cool says he just walks around and takes pictures and uses Photo Match. Which I'm going to remind everybody, we're looking at an Australian setting here. That one wasn't an option.
Although if it's in the budget, hey, send me out to Australia.
That's right. Yeah, we don't got that budget. We got you that nice green screen. I don't know. Wait, I can't ask for more. Johnny 5 says 8, 10, or 12 feet, depending on construction, if it's residential or commercial, that sort of thing. So
okay.
Yeah, got some good feedback. Thank you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Let's see. So I tried to do the drape and it went onto like the 2D layer, it looks like. Oh, okay, here. Maybe I accidentally clicked the wrong drape, which is part of the solid tools. Make sure I'm getting the 3D boy over here. Okay. There we go.
Sandbox.
What did I say?
Solid. Both S tools, but different.
Appreciate you being here for that.
Right.
So yeah, now I guess this is separate from the thing. If that does anything for you. Drape. Okay. Let's see. We have these buildings. And I suppose I could just try to drop them down to the height of the terrain. I could do it like one by one like this. This looks a little like a ski moguls or something. I'm like, that doesn't really work out too well for our building. Or one extension that I've seen used before by Eric Sargent is called Drop GC, which basically takes the I think it uses the axis of the group and then drops it vertically onto the next surface below it. So that kind of automatically drops it down. So I think you can see this axis on this group hits this piece, and so that's why it kind of goes where it meets the thing. So that's a little bit automatic way of doing it. Obviously there would be some extra work I need to do to make this line up and not get caught in the ground. I'm burrowing. I'm digging underground. But to kind of pull that face down to meet the ground. This is taking too much time. We're already 30 minutes in, so let's try to automate it or get some of this info in an easier way.
I like it.
So I'm going to switch over to the web browser and go to this Cadmapper, which is another tool that I saw being used on previous videos, but is very cool. And I've actually used it before to get a very large piece of city context for the city of Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada. So let's give this one a shot. Let's see what we can get out of Cadmapper here. So you can see on the side, there's some info that it brings in, 3D buildings, topography, contours if you want it, road information. Let's navigate down to our little spot here. And one thing that's cool about Cadmapper is that if you have a site or a site area, if you have an area that's less than 1 square kilometer, then it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So that's nice.
Ooh,
And then, larger ones you can purchase based on how large the site is. It's pretty reasonable, especially if it's for like paid work, or if you can, you know, get somebody else to pay for it. I guess it depends on what you're using it for. But even, I mean, I can find my little piece here. Palmer and William. Yeah, this is my spot here. So we can drag an area and you can see, $6 to do this, or I can shrink it down and try to get exactly 0.99. Okay. Right here. Okay, cool. So here we go. We want the SketchUp version. Make sure that's clicked, and then you'll be able to just download a straight up SKP file. So that's nice.
do you know, Matt, what the coverage for Cadmapper is like? I know you're not intimately familiar with it, but I was just curious. We had a question. Ajar is asking if it works in all countries or just some, or if you know.
I know it uses OpenStreetMaps for the buildings. So wherever OpenStreetMaps, which is, has buildings all over the world, how like accurate the buildings are probably depends on the size of the metro area that you're in.
Sure.
More populated areas will have more accurate information. Um, but yeah, I would say just try it out. Like I said, it's free for a kilometer, so just do what I just did: cruise to your wherever you want to grab a map from and see if like how much information, because it'll give you a little preview too, like this, before you download it.
Cool.
So yeah, you can see the different views, the 2D view of the information that it brings in, the parks over here and some street stuff, and this looks like, I don't know, railroads or something, and then also the topo information as well. So let's just download it.
Yeah, I find that there's times to ask for information and there's times to just click buttons. And personally, I probably lean towards the click buttons a little sooner than maybe I should. But yeah, I like the idea of finding out if something works by trying it.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what it brings in. This is just the straight up the SKP that it gave us from the download. And so this is what it looks like in SketchUp. Our area is right here. So all the buildings are tagged separately and grouped individually. And there are, let's see, the kind of property outlines. I think that's what this outline thing is. And maybe it also does kind of road stuff too. Like there's a little divider in the road next to our site. So that comes in the outline tag. Parks, blah, blah, blah. You can see the names of this stuff over here.
That's very nice.
But it's all colored this yellow color. So I think we can just try to change the colors of this stuff. I think this is all default material too, if I had to guess. I pressed M for material. No. B, bucket. The paint bucket. So yeah, default material. So let's see. If I want to paint all the buildings, I could say select all with same tag. And then because these have the default material, I could paint. I know usually people say to not do this, but you could paint on the outside of the container, right?
Right. For specific purposes, there's elitists who will complain and say never, but I think there are situations where it is perfectly acceptable to paint the outside of a container.
Yeah, and for me, this is one of them. Why not? Let's see. This could be like a yellowy color, right? No, that's not the right one. And okay, and then I also has water on here, but I don't think there's, oh, there's some water. Water. Although let's see, these are not closed because they're, on the topography.
Mm.
So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
I have these line work groups of the outlines of stuff, and it looks like it's kind of on the surface of the topo, but not 100%. Is there a good way to could I just drape the whole darn thing on top?
Yeah, you could take those edges and move them up and then just drape them back down onto the original surface.
Okay.
So it's kind of nice that it breaks it apart the way it does, because in theory, you could grab all of it and pull it up and just drape it all at once. But I don't know how well that would work. It's like I said, it's worth trying.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm learning by doing over here. So
worst case, you look bad and I tried. So
what else can you ask for?
Keggy is over on YouTube lamenting over how you're showing off those cool MAC colored pencils.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. You set a new record 35 minutes into the stream. Somebody mentioned the pencils. They're so cool, and they have fun names too. Fern, spring,
yeah,
blueberry. It's fun.
It is fun. We also, just as a note, 35 minutes in, somebody mentioned that, and also we hit 100 messages on our chat already.
All right.
So we're talkative.
Yeah, we got a talkative bunch today. Okay, so I'm gonna move these up again. I guess it doesn't matter how far up, right? Just as long as it's above it.
Yeah, shouldn't matter.
Okay.
One of my favorite terms.
This is already pretty much saved, but I'm gonna save here.
Oh, dang. I was just about to do the sound.
I don't think you can hear that, but I think the stream can hear it. I programmed save into the...
Okay.
To my little button. My little buttons here.
Nice.
Save. So I just have to figure out how to get that. So whenever I hit Command S, it'll actually play that sound. That's for another day. But we have saved. And so that means we're going to go to Sandbox Drape and say, hope this works. And allow the computer to intersect. Although I don't really know if this is the best way, because, these buildings, the property outlines are on the same big group of outline here as the roads are.
Yes.
And the park, boundaries and stuff like that. So if you wanted to take that topography layer and paint the different, split apart sections, like green for parks, for example, it might be a little bit more of a manual process than what you'd hope for. Although probably easier than doing it the original way I said, which is drawing it yourself.
Yeah, I think, that wasn't too bad. I mean, that was about a minute or so, and that's a lot of intersecting geometry. But I was thinking that same thing as you were saying that, Matt. This is a lot. This is a lot of intersecting geometry, and probably you don't need most of it. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it worked, you're in great shape. Looks like there's maybe a little bit of cleanup with a couple faces. It's hard for me to, I should say this. I only have my laptop in front of me, and your window is about the size of a business card. So if I don't say something perfectly or don't follow along, it's because I can't see so good. But yeah, I do think. No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I was just saying, it's, if you were bringing in the context, you may want to pick and choose which outlines you actually intersect, because which ones do you actually need. Likewise, as soon as you intersect, now you have all that geometry broken, all those extra edges and faces. So again, in the spirit of context, like I was talking about, if all you need is some shapes around you to suggest something, you might just only pull certain parts out. But this turned out pretty cool. This looks good. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
actually, the
that's the
roads
stuff.
worked out pretty good.
I take it back. That was worth it. Absolutely the best way to do it.
That was a pleasant surprise. Cool. Yeah, agreed. I'm sure there's some better. This is why I miss Eric, because he's always has so like such a thoughtful organizational strategy of taking information like this and making it digestible and easy to work with. Um,
Psh,
not
whatever.
me. Not me.
Somebody did ask in the chat if we have been keeping touch with Eric, and we have actually. He came to base camp and taught some classes, and it was good to hang out with him there. And as a matter of fact, he just sent. We have an ongoing text group with him, extracurricularly, I guess, and he just checked in before the stream. So he's doing well, enjoying the new position, and yeah, doing well, doing good.
Yeah. Thanks for asking, folks. It definitely feels like a community in here. And so, yeah, that is cool to hear. Let's see, this is covered up now. So what did we say? This was about 70 feet. Let's see what the OpenStreetMap's accuracy is on here.
Ooh.
20 meters. Okay, what does that mean?
60-ish feet?
Yeah, 67. That's pretty close. So, I think there is back in Cadmapper, there was a setting for like, if you had oh yeah, here you go. 3D buildings. Is that going to keep showing? Okay, 3D buildings, no value, 3 meters. So any building that doesn't have an OpenStreetMaps, identified height is going to be 3 meters. So maybe some of these other ones would be that. But this is a quick and easy way to get, a lot of information that would have taken me a lot of time to draw these manually. And then now if you, suppose I wanted to have some information about shadows in here. Even if you're not using this for like an architectural use, I was thinking like, if you were planning like a block party on this block, and you're like, okay, it's in like summer, so what would it, I guess summer in Australia would be like, I guess now, December 6th. Let's see what it looks like today. I don't know what time it is there. Maybe it's December 7th there already. Who knows?
Yeah, it's like 2 a.m.
Yeah. If anybody's watching from Australia, good on you.
It's probably dark.
Yeah, it probably looks like this without the yellow neon lights. But so
they have lights there.
Yeah. So you could see maybe in the afternoon, it would be, this large building would be casting a shadow, which would be, include some heaters over here, maybe. I don't know what the temperature in Australia is looking like this time of year, but it doesn't necessarily have to be for, just for architectural analysis. Oh, I was thinking to show pre-design too. Is that something people would be interested in to see for this site?
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts, guys, in the chat. Let us know if should Matt spend a little time diving into pre-design for this.
Do you know what pre-design is even?
Hey, there's question number 1. So for those who aren't in the know, PreDesign is a utility we offer as part of our subscription service that lets you do some preliminary design on specific locations. So this is things like not building design, but more the space. Like what are the considerations you're gonna have to have, or what are the considerations you need to take? What do you need to think about if you're going to build in this specific place? And it kind of goes through that based on some very high level settings. So if you're interested, Matt could pull that up and we could just see what's going on in Australia.
Yeah, we just I mean, this is pretty early on in the process, but that might be something you would do before this, or maybe around this time in the design process. I just feel like this is, I just like orbiting this. I'm like, this would take me so long to do. And so it's just cool to be like, oh yeah, look at this 3D little city that I made in no time.
You know, I'm gonna peel back the curtain a little bit and let everybody who's watching know that really, as we do these models, it's all about the thumbnail. It really, yeah, we try to make sure we convey some information and a little bit of learning, but really it's about getting a cool thumbnail. So Matt's like, in less than an hour, got one of the cooler thumbnails already. So this is just gonna get better.
That's right. Look what I did, everybody.
That's right.
Look what
just so preliminary feedback
Mhm.
is, pre-design would be cool to see. So
okay,
if you wanted to hop in there and show it, it would be well received.
Yeah. PreDesign.sketchup.com is the site to go to do that. You'll have to log into your account. And then it comes up with some like demo things for you, but you just hit create new study on the bottom here. And then I suppose this would maybe be an office locale. Some of this looks like residential around, but this looks like,
yeah,
let's say
commercially, like commercial.
And Palmer Street SketchUp Live, of course. Okay, and then let's see if this knows the right address. Sydney. Ooh. Satellite recommended. Okay. This is the right place, I believe, right? Palmer. Yeah.
Based on my little teeny tiny preview, I'd say it looks perfect.
Are you real good in there? Okay. Okay, so it says some information about the time of day that people would normally be using it based on my my commercial selection. It waits to gather information and data for stuff. So pre-design gives you, well, I don't need to fill time because it's already done.
Boom.
It gives you information on how the sun affects this. I can just take a screenshot of this. I don't even need to import the model into SketchUp. Look at
Done.
So yeah, this is, I mean, you can see it where the sun is. Oh man, yeah, this is I'm like, wow, this is surprising me how cool it is. So yeah, tells you, what kind of sun you'll have. So maybe what kind of shading, structures you should have for to maintain a pleasant experience for people in the area. What the weather's like, where the prevailing winds come from. So that could impact how your design looks, like where you have certain walls and things. What time of day you get sunlight. And to me, I'm like, I could just take a screenshot of this and put it on some document, and be like, this is good info. I mean, you could just take this and kind of format it to your aesthetic or your, personal brand or whatever. But good information even before you, like, I haven't started with a building footprint or anything like that. So this could give you information on all the stuff that it says here.
Yeah, it's a great, well, like it said, it's like as the title implies, pre-design. So before, you even have more than a concept of a building, you can go in and do this. And then when it does tell you things like, oh, you're going to need shade, or, it's going to get stuffy in here, so you need to have a breezeway, or, it lets you know the things you should consider right at the beginning, so you can take them into account as you actually get into designing the actual structure.
Yeah. And I would guess, especially for like people who are running the operation of the building afterwards, like it's important to know how much how much energy it'll take to, like, relatively, to heat
Hmm.
and cool the space, and the different type of glass that you use for the windows, definitely, or the shading solutions that you have would have a big impact on that. So this tells you kind of different types that you could show, and then it gives you kind of a star rating for, yeah, how much impact that would have on your final design.
So, couple quick responses to questions.
Yeah.
Um, Johnny Five is asking if this is an AI tool. It's actually not AI driven. It is driven by data. So we don't, you know, AI is good stuff. I'm not dissing AI, but this is not something running out and collecting information from various spots. These are pre loaded information about the locations that you're picking. So, um, and Randy asked if it's part of the pro subscription. It is part of this pro subscription. Like Matt mentioned, when you go to that site, predesign.sketchup.com, you will have to log in. You just do that with your standard Trimble ID and have access to all of this. And Ty says hi. Hi, Ty.
Hey, Ty. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, and that was Randy was saying that you get to this point and then print it out and you're pretty much done with your pre-design. Absolutely. We've also seen people download this, include it on a layout drawing, and put it in with their conceptual modeling and that sort of thing. It is great information to back up your preliminary design.
Yeah. Definitely show people that you've thought through different considerations. Excuse me. Luckily, I have a cough
Oh,
button on my mic, but I use it a little bit too late, so you heard a little cough in there.
I was just going to cue up "Girl from Ipanema" to play over that while you took a coughing break. Do, 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 do.
The only audio
Yeah.
I have to play is save.
The one I can't hear. Thank you.
Yeah. I need to get that piped into your headphones somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on a loop. Actually, I just need that to be the notification anytime you send a message. So anything from Matt just says save.
Yeah. Yeah. Every chat and everything. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Focus.
Yeah, no problem. So you can download this. I don't know what oh, here you go. So you can download it in a PDF or Excel spreadsheet for easy inclusion, so you don't have to screenshot everything in your documentation, your information that you share with stakeholders. So that's pre-design. I don't know how much more I want to do on this. I mean, I could go through and, like, figure out where the parks are and color them green and stuff. But I have one more option that I want to show in addition to add location and Cadmapper, which is an extension called PlaceMaker, which I believe is by Mindsight Studio. Is that right?
Yes. Dale at Mindsight Studio.
Dale Martin. So it's good. PlaceMaker is an extension that draws data from a lot of different sources and then adds them in to your SketchUp model or Revit model. I think they have a Revit extension as well. There's a couple different payment options. So they have like a subscription, and then they have a pay-as-you-go option, which, like, you can just import the things you want. That's what I have set up. So I'm going to see how far I can get with my intro credits that I have for PlaceMaker. So let's see. I think the menu would be in, let's see, window? No.
Is it in extensions?
Probably. Oh, here it is. Actually, I've been using this search a lot more. This is nice.
That's good stuff.
PlaceMaker dialog. Type in PL, and you don't even have to look through any sub menus or anything. Shift S is how to do search for stuff, which is key for me. So these are the different types of data that you can import using the PlaceMaker extension.
Hey Matt.
Yo.
Can you drag the dialogue over to the right? Because now it's under the chat that we just had you move. Thank you.
Good call. So yes, now you can see it. This is the dialogue. You can bring in 3D mesh, 3D textured mesh, just straight up terrain, aerial imagery from a lot of different sources. So to the person who asked, is this worldwide? PlaceMaker has a lot more options for different data sets that cover different parts of the world. So this might have more of an option for coverage for where you are looking to design in. Although I have never used this before, so I don't know exactly what the kind of coverage is, but we'll find out together if they have stuff for Australia.
This is the best way to learn. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Live in front of hundreds of people.
Hundreds. Oh boy. Okay, so there's, all these different options. I would say the Cadmapper one brought in kind of, you could choose what to bring in, but there wasn't really a lot of, there were some options about what do you want to bring in. This has more options and more different areas or different sets of data that you can bring in. But the first thing I need to do before I can do that is to geolocate. So
we do have a handful of people who are saying they've used or do use PlaceMaker. So if you get stuck, we can go to the experts.
All right, happy to have you here because I am no expert. I also do not claim to be. Okay, so here's our little spot right here. I'll try to center that up and select kind of a similar area to what we had before. It's like this pretty much, right?
Looks good on my my display here. Yep.
Okay, cool. So this did two things. I think it geolocated it, right? Or no? Yeah, okay, so it is geolocated, and it brings in this kind of temporary screenshot image. This isn't the high res imagery that you would get from the extension, but then now that it's has a spot to pull from, you can go in here and choose different things. So let's give it a shot and see what. So I have a measly 100 credits that I bought with the Black Friday sale on PlaceMaker's website. So we'll see how far that can get me. I know that terrain, satellite imagery, and buildings are a lot more credits than the other data. So I don't know. Let's give this a shot at 100 feet and see. So it'll always preview it for you and then tell you how many credits it's going to take before you like confirm it. Let's see. Should I go for this? 18? I'm like, I have 100.
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
I'm terrible at rationing. Go for it.
99. We can afford it. Okay, so this brings in some information. Obviously, you could go to grid spacing all the way down to 10 feet, and then supposing I wanted to do that, it would cost more credits. It'll come up and say, oh, maybe not. Anyways, maybe I should have done that instead. Well, here we are. This goes to show that I am using it for the first time. So anyways, so there's this information in here. Let's go to imagery. I don't know, import a preview or say, I don't know what any of these, I think near map is US and Canada only. So this probably would not be covered on this one, but I don't know. What is max? Let's see how much that's going to cost me. 105. Okay, so this is too much. And you can
Oop.
see if you are subscribing, like if you have the year, people who have used this before know if you have the subscription to it, the credits cost less, and some stuff is just included in there. Okay, so maybe max is not for us in this particular situation, but like you said, when in doubt, try medium.
That's big fan of medium.
Okay. Okay, 12. That's more my style.
Sounds good.
Okay, and then so this organizes it again on tags. I'm trying to see where 3D Earth? No. Imagery. Yeah. So here's some nice satellite imagery.
Very nice.
And then you can see kind of the same thing as with the add location. You get the terrain in there as well. And then let's go for roads, huh?
Let's do it. Bring in the roads.
I don't really know what to do for any of these, so I'm just going to leave them in the default. Merge.
Yeah, I believe when it does roads, it actually draws them, and it draws them based on those settings, like how wide are they, that sort of thing. It doesn't like analyze satellite data and figure out exactly how wide each road is or anything like that. So I believe it's based on those settings. So I've always found the defaults do a pretty good job.
Okay. I guess this is default if it's not in OpenStreetMaps, which would have some road data.
Right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Merge with surface.
Click more, question less. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
I don't want to put pressure on you, Matt, but two things.
Mm-hmm.
I said you're figuring this out with hundreds watching, and I did get the reminder that it's actually probably more like hundreds of thousands in the long term, because this will be live on YouTube for eternity. And Eric Sargent just dropped in and sent a message, like just it is a chain of things you should be doing differently.
I believe it. I 100% believe it.
I'm kidding again. Eric just said, "Hey Matt, you're doing great."
Oh, excuse me. Thanks, Eric. Thanks for stopping by. And hey, I'm clicking around. I'm clicking stuff.
Just keep clicking. Just keep clicking.
Okay, so as far as I know, I've selected this. So do I have to click a, okay. Now I say import. And then it would come up, maybe?
Then the thing shows up.
Help me. Oh, here we go. Had to click it. Maybe I was outside of the dialog box or something. Okay, road 22. See, if I had a subscription, this would be included. We got plenty of credits to burn, baby. Let's go. Burn, baby, burn. And this is nice because it brings them in and is already, let's hide this guy. Already filled in. I'm trying to see if this is pretty similar looking to, oh, that's not the one, to what we brought in the other one.
Yeah.
Not this one. This one is my handiwork. So if it's mine, then it's not going to be as good.
It's artisanal.
That's right.
That's handcrafted. Just outside of I don't know where my thoughts were going with that. I just kind of wandered away there. Hey, how's it going?
It's definitely outside. I didn't choose to intersect this with the terrain on the import, so I guess I can just do it now. Same situation as before. Maybe I should save this.
Save.
Oh. Street. dokie. And then we're gonna say sandbox drape on this one, this one, the terrain layer.
I will say that if nothing else, you are doing a great job of maintaining layers and all that kind of stuff. I've seen some guys do live stream and put everything on the same tag, whole thing. Swear to God.
I don't believe it. I
I know.
never.
It's crazy to think about, but it happened.
Okay, let's try to get some buildings in here now. PlaceMaker dialogue. Buildings, and there's also walkways. Yeah, let's do paths. That seems like something that would not cost me a lot of creds. Walking paths, very important. I'm sure with this nice park over here, there's some nice paths.
Just sharing a couple things in here. Richos is asking if this is Google based like the old days of Google Maps. And no, it's not. This is, they use OpenStreetMaps, they use Nearmap, they use other solutions. Google made so many changes to who could use their properties for what that it got really hard to leverage it. In fact, according to the terms of service of Google Maps, you are not supposed to use images, screen captures, pretty much any of their map data anywhere for anything. So if you can use it for reference without doing that, then you're welcome to do whatever you want. But yeah, this is usable data.
Yeah, and I actually did see there's something. Maybe this is from Google Earth, 3D textured mesh, which apparently is not supported in the pay-as-you-go version, but isn't in the subscription. Something with API keys and something else. So maybe there's some workaround that they figured out to bring in Google Earth data in here.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I will not be doing that today. Merge with surface. Okay, let's give this a shot. So maybe, okay, let's just see straight out how much this is gonna cost me. Maybe I should have done the buildings first based on the price. But we'll see. 101. Okay, so there is, so let me turn off the roads. And then if you just want to do a specific area, you can just straight up draw a boundary like this. And then since this is geolocated, if I just want to bring buildings in this area, I can say import buildings here. And this is fewer credits. So we're going to bring those little dogs in, and then I can build
Nice.
this. So I think one thing that's nice about PlaceMaker is that you have so many options for satellite imagery. And if you have the credits to bring in the super high res aerials, then you can get more information. Let's see what, like, in the SketchUp one, it's relatively good detail in here. But some of their other ones, especially if you're in the US and Canada and have that near map, like those are super high res. And you can see exactly where curb cuts are and other things that are relevant to people who do this kind of work. So that's nice because it's all in one place and it brings it in and locates everything automatically for you. Yeah.
It is good to have options because you don't know. Not every provider has the same solutions for every location. So it is really nice to be able to go in there and try different providers and see who has the best spot for where you need.
Yeah. Um, one thing that didn't get brought in either of these situations, although you can see that the road here is, let's cruise back to this guy. There is this kind of, so actually right under the site is if I back out here, there's a highway that goes right under this.
Hmm.
And so there's this little entrance ramp thing that's sort of adjacent to the site. You know, like it seems to me that context information close to the site should be more valuable or maybe more accurate or more detailed perhaps than stuff further away. So like this is not a very good representation of what happens over here because this is like sunken down in. I didn't I didn't really have any other stuff that I planned to show, and there's still like more time, so I could try to model this little entrance ramp thing if we think that would be something people want to see. Oh, there's also trees in PlaceMaker. I'm just all over the place, but so I guess I could try that too, depending on what people want to see. Maybe I'll do that in the meantime, and then let people in the chat let me know if you want to see me try to model this little guy or do something else.
Yeah, let's hear what you think. We got about 45, 50 minutes left, so we can do what you guys think would be a great way for Matt to spend time. So, you want to see how he would go about pushing this little section down into the ground? Should we bring some entourage in? What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. Just to throw it out, while additional content, I guess. I don't know. We are next week going to be doing our last stream of the year, and we're going to bring back a classic, something we used to do way back when we didn't have any ideas of what we should model. It was a session called Ask Me to Model Anything. So we're going to do it, and yeah, just get you guys primed, get your thoughts going. What are some good things, workflows, different modeling types that you don't know how to do or you want to see illustrated, and let us know about those ideas too. So yes, 2 questions. What do we do now, and what do we do next week?
Yeah. I always love those Ask Me to Model Anything streams because like normally we have some kind of boundaries that we work in. Like we're happy to answer questions along the way, but we have some kind of plan. But it's kind of fun to be completely off script and just go with whatever people say in the chat. So you in the chat get to direct what we get to see on screen. So it's a lot of fun. You never know what you're going to expect, and you are the driver.
That's right. Somebody said printed circuit board, and we've done a video card once and never do it again. So sorry, Timothy, you're cut off and can't come to the Ask Me to Model Anything. Notre Dame Cathedral. Okay, we're just getting funny now. Let's go back to Matt's question. What do you guys think he should do on here? We'll come back to next week. I mean, so I would be curious, Matt, to see that off ramp that goes below grade. What would your thoughts be on how would you tackle that? You said that, and I was immediately, my ears perked up, going, I'd love to see how somebody else does that.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. Which one should I do it on? I have the 3 different models. This one, maybe I'll just do it on the. Does that look okay? That looks a little.
Kind of starting from nothing on that one, huh?
Yeah. roads. Because we do want the one that has some terrain on it because obviously there's some kind of terrain change there. Oops.
Right.
Sure. Let's give it a shot on this one. Okay, so let's see. This imagery is not really doing a lot for me, but maybe if I do the same kind of thing as I did with the property line before, where I do it above.
You know, there are those who would say that the less detail you have, then the less accountable you are to getting it right in the final model. So it could be a gift horse right there. You got.
Let me just see, because I have some PlaceMaker stuff. 33 credits. Let me just try out some of the satellites super high, like a small section of high imagery, and see what that would go for.
You know, it does. I just to acknowledge this because we're kind of poking around with PlaceMaker. We're kind of tongue in cheek talking about how we're going to use these credits, but it does feel like for something, a tool that you would use for, if you did regular landscape design, urban design, anything like that, it seems like almost an indispensable tool to be able to go in and get that data immediately that way. Very cool uh, tool to have in your toolbox if that's the kind of work you're doing.
Yeah, totally. And some of the videos, on the website that Daniel Tall has on like a huge sections of cities that he created using PlaceMaker, those are impressive for sure. So in the right hands, it can do a lot more than what I have here. Okay, so do I want, so I'll just grab this imagery tag. I already moved it up. Okay. Okay. So maybe going back to this can tell us a little bit of information. So this is like at street level over here, and then it starts to go down a little bit. Can you guys see that? Okay. And then goes under like a little thing, and then there's this, I don't know, fan awning thing, whatever's here, and then it goes underground right before it kind of hits the sidewalk over here is this wall. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to start out. Maybe I should. If I'm going to trace stuff, maybe I'll try. No, maybe not X-ray. And this kind of like fans out a little bit. What's up?
Also, it's not easy going in and modeling something you've never seen before from a blurry photo. I'm empathizing over here right now. I'm like, wow, is this what it feels like to be on the other side?
Yeah, this thing helps seeing it in this view.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Maybe I'll just do it to like here. Maybe my picture is a little. I won't go exactly to the picture.
Yeah. We're going to assume there's some distortion between space and the ground. So.
Okay, is this connecting here? No. Weld? Okay, so that's welded. And then this. Let's see. Okay, so my basic idea is to get the, the outline of it, and then just try to use autofold to like bring this down, or I guess this up maybe, and then keep it kind of connected that way. I don't know if it'll work, but I guess I'll try.
One way to find out.
This can go like this too. So let's see, just turn this off. So we can just try this. One question too is how deep does this go?
Right. What's a standard overpass in the United States is 13 feet. So I would think it's at least 13 feet deep.
13. Okay. Let's maybe say 16.
Yeah, you're going to want to go deeper than that, of course, because the road over top is going to have some depth too. So the opening of at least 13.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so maybe we'll say the whole thing goes down 20. If I can just straight up move this down 20 feet. And then I think it also, let me go back to this thing. So what I tried to do with this little piece is that this kind of, get over here, starts to go down. Maybe it doesn't have that dramatic of an angle. Maybe it's more like this. And then this, I don't know. Why are you asking me? Oh, whoops, looks like something went awry there. I feel like I'm working in the clouds up here.
Yeah.
Is this not?
I think there's regularly a point where you just need space, and that's one way to do it is to set it off to the side like that. The other thing would be to put it in context, throw it in a group or component, and then edit it by itself. But this works just fine.
Okay, imagery off. And then, so this would go down like a couple feet, I don't know, 4 feet? Is that too extreme?
Looks drivable to me from where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do.
It's probably the only plan that won't work. I mean, I think that's fairly solid if you build up. Well, yeah, the tough part now is going to be building up the sides, right?
Yeah, maybe if I did okay, so I'm gonna go back. Doot, doot, deep, bop, bop, beep, boop, bop, beep, beep. Before I moved this down. And then I just have to fix this again. here to here. Come on. Okay, so now I have kind of this, and then, okay, make group. Go in here, take this, and this, copy it, paste it in place, offset it 2 feet or something, and then connect this, and then now I have this like kind of retaining wall that I can push up once it's
Nice.
done, I guess. Same kind of situation over here. This one, this one, this one. I don't have a shortcut for paste in place, unfortunately.
Not yet.
Yeah, there's always time. There's
That's
always
right.
time. Okay, so now maybe I'll group these. And now I can do my little number where I move these ones up. 20. And then this one down. 3. And then these. I guess I can always push these down later. So
Yeah, just same thing though. Like you're saying, get that retaining wall outlined first, and then
I guess it doesn't have to be that high up.
like it.
And then this thing. I guess it's not really a wall over there. Oh, mine's a wall.
Hey, it's your design. Maybe whatever you want.
Yeah.
You're not the boss of me.
Don't tell me what to do. Is this a good workflow of taking this piece, pasting it in place outside of the group?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was.
And then basically I have my new. This should be a yeah. So now I can kind of move this.
Oh, for that shade thing or whatever that. Yeah, that looks perfect. I think that this actually, Matt, I think what you're doing is showing a good job of what the native tools can do in this situation. Because I think this is a spot where people would immediately go, all right, now I need something to skin this, or I need to create a complex shape with some extension. But the native tools work really well to do basic deformations like that.
Yeah. Agreed. Okay. So this, I guess, should be straight across, right? And then oops.
I like that. That was the face of confidence.
Yeah, I'm like, I think this kind of, oops. Looks kind of like what's supposed to go in there, right?
I think that turned out awesome. I was I was sitting here thinking how I would do things. Eric chimed in and shared some thoughts too, but I like the way that you went about that. That was great. Worked out really well.
Well, cool. And then I guess now I just have to fit it in there and punch it through the terrain, right? I guess I could select all this stuff. And this should be at the ground level.
Yeah.
I guess my fan is a little too big.
Yeah, just knock that. Get that building out of there.
Yeah, where's my demolition crew when I need them? Oops, no.
Priorities.
Hide. 1 and 2. Show hidden. Okay, so this is where I need to get a hole in the ground. I'll turn everything off but my terrain.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I think you could just select that plane and intersect with
model? Or do I need
well,
do I need to write something, draw something over here too so that it's cuts that part?
I would, so this would be my thought.
Yeah.
Would be to, because if you, right now, are these two in the same context?
No, this is a separate group. These are all separate too.
So what I might do is grab the copies of the pieces that are going to intersect and define that hole, copy them, bring them into context, intersect with context, and then clean up, the edges in here.
So like copy
go in there,
this
like
face?
Right, the inside faces, copy them, paste them into the group that has the floor, the ground, the outside floor, and then
excuse me.
Yeah, and then intersect with context, because intersect with context is only the stuff that's in the group, so it's not going to intersect with all the other things.
And I want to intersect the terrain with the context. Or we would do the same thing either way.
Yeah, it should give you lines since they're both just raw geometry. So cleanup will be a little bit of, you have to do a little messing, but.
And then do I need to do this piece too, or no?
Yeah, you could try. I would do it real quick and then see. Yeah.
With context. Okay.
There you go. So then you just get rid of those pieces from the top. And then, you could connect those two together and clean up the hole once you turn everything else back on, or you could turn everything else back on and push stuff around if you need to. There you go. Ooh.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you got those pieces dropped down too. So
we don't want those in there. Sorry for the quick orbit, everybody. All right. Boogie down.
Nice.
And that's, you can tell what's under there. It's a highway.
Ta-da! Walk away.
I guess you'd have this kind of line here, but I suppose you could.
Yeah, because so you could, in theory, push that back ever so slightly.
Yeah. I could just
to get
like
it,
hide this,
to
right?
bury it in that retaining wall. Or you could hide it. Yeah, that's true.
Hide. Okay. It's a good selection way to get this. This. Yeah. Command E. Let's hide.
Ooh.
Okay. Got a little problems going on here, but yeah, that's terrain for you, man.
Drape.
Something
No, I
weird's
think
going
that was pretty cool. That was I thoroughly enjoyed seeing you walk through your way of modeling that. That's great. Very cool.
Good. It's gonna be a little bumpy, folks, but we got underground.
Enough cars drive over that, it'll smooth out over time.
What happened to this?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, we don't have to worry about that. Not today.
Not to
Boo boo bee boo ba ba. Maybe just turn all this
I
on.
think that's great.
And then not exactly right. I couldn't figure out. Okay, maybe imagery off. Couldn't figure out how to get the roads draped on this. It said it didn't work. So that's sure I'm a little bit of a problem there, but this little thing's kind of in there. I mean, it's kind of in this building. Maybe a little oversized, but
yeah. Hey, I think for context, like you said, it is an important looking piece as far as that context goes, and I think that looks cool. A little bit of cleanup to do, but not bad at all.
Yeah. What else? What other stuff do we want to do?
Well, I guess that's your call. We're past an hour and a half. Is there more you want to get into, or are you feeling good?
I mean, I suppose we could try to add more detail to, like you mentioned at the top, you don't want
Mhm.
your buildings to like outshine the buildings next to it. But I wonder if adding some kind of detail in these would be helpful or not.
Sure.
I mean, we have the, like the street view. Oh, I'm underground. Of the.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things to consider with context buildings is, are there immediately apparent or identifiable aspects of a building that you'd want to put in, and how would you go about doing that quickly? So if you look around at some of those, are there parts where you see something that you think would be quick and easy to throw in there?
I mean, I don't. Maybe
Again,
the
not,
trees would be more valuable than the building because I'm like, I don't know. What does that information get you?
yeah.
I guess I could like try to find a photo of this and like put a photo texture on it or something, but doesn't. Not because it's complex and I don't want to model it, everybody, but because I'm
well,
like, what does it
well,
add
but
from this angle?
but for real, when we're talking about context, we're talking about like quick context. How do you go about, in the least amount of work, how do you get the most bang for your time?
Mm-hmm.
And absolutely, I mean, I don't want to say that, yeah, like in a situation like this where those trees are prevalent, they do, there's a big difference between looking at that street and seeing no trees, or dropping in a couple of 2D trees and seeing the difference. So yeah, I think that's definitely a valid way to up the context of your model.
Yeah, maybe some cars or something. I don't know. Should I do it on this one? Should I do it on this one? Maybe I'll do it on this one. This one doesn't have the roads, which is the only bummer. I suppose I could import this terrain piece into this model, right? Or it probably wouldn't
Sure.
line up.
Yeah, you'd probably end up just off.
Yeah.
I don't, to be honest, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think whatever model you pick will be the one that you do it on, and that's what we will see.
All right. Let's just do it on this one.
Perfect.
Which doesn't really have the right. Let's see. This would not break everything. Because I feel like it's a little further over. Or even like. This. Okay, that does break everything. Okay. Trees. We have trees. So this is where Eric would let me know in the comments where you'd get good trees from. I guess I can try a 3D warehouse.
It's always a gamble. You never know what you get.
One thing that I have used before, so maybe I'll show this and see, is filter to the old. Like if I'm doing context, I'm probably doing a large area, and if I was like putting a lot of trees in, I go to the early SketchUp collections from, I'm sure they're from a long time ago, but let's see. But because they're like optimized for smaller, like, there's low poly stuff in here, like for cars and stuff, I'm like, on 3D Warehouse, I don't know if a random car somebody made is like super high detail or has like textures in it or something weird. And I know for sure that these are all like optimized, I guess you could say, especially for a larger model. So I suppose I could have searched for trees, or I could just look around in here. Trees, 2D high poly, or maybe 3D. Maybe the 3D ones would be. Yeah, I'll search trees. Very nice. Oh, and there's plan versions of stuff too. Yeah, this doesn't really look exactly like my ones in my picture. And still, even the high poly ones are only 148 KB, Not like that I'm going to render these, but that like, I could pull something like this and it would just be a good representation of what's going on in there.
Right.
Maybe I'll try that. And then just use this view to say there's like 3 of these. Like I wish I had this view. Maybe I'll just do it in this one. Okay. It's all coming together, folks. It's all.
Matt's walking away with 3 or 4 models too, which is above and beyond also.
I know.
Saying. The other guy only does 1 each week. Excuse me.
Shit. This one looks bigger. Oh, I didn't know that worked. So when you go to 3D Warehouse, download something, and then go back to 3D Warehouse, it doesn't matter which model you're in, it'll still go back to the same page. That's nice.
That's cool. Very nice.
Maybe I'll get one of these and like modify it. Kind of looks similar, but Go in here and this. It's a good thing somebody would do. I don't know. Kind of matches the size, but I don't know.
Maybe a little short, but yeah.
Short, stout. Oh boy.
Again, it really comes down to context too. And trees are weird. Foliage is weird in that some people get very specific about needing this exact tree. And then I've seen very effective models with, like 50% gray outlines of trees, and that's it. So yeah, it really there's a lot of room for I'm air quoting the words perfect solution for that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely, I think, real world accurate to exactly what's going on in the spot. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. But, this was beyond my initial scope of what I was planning to do. So maybe
This
that's
is
why
just icing, folks.
this
This
is
is just
see, definitely icing. It's ice. It looks like snow on these trees. It's all kind of stuff. It's cake. It's snow day.
it's sweet.
Oh, it's definitely. I don't know if these floating buildings are sweet. Wonder how well the geolocation works if I can copy these and then paste them in place in the other model, if it would work. I'm gonna try it.
I don't think you can paste. Oh, yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it.
You're right. Are they just right below me? No. Where did they go? Okay. Oh yeah, because my axis and yeah, because the geo. Okay.
Yeah,
I could
because
still
I don't think
bring them over here. Just wouldn't be prudent. Wouldn't be right or good. Well, you know what? The good thing is you just got to get them right in plan view, and then you can use your old drop GC.
that is true. Just get them up above the ground.
Over here. These little boys over this way. This guy over here. Select all instances and drop them.
Like it's hot. That looks good.
It looks like something. Let's put some cars in here. Oh yeah. Vehicle maybe. Vehicle. Nope. Vehicle.
I think car works. Car works. You can just say car.
Car. Oh, automobiles.
Ah, automobile. I don't know why I just said it that way. I apologize.
That's the Australian pronunciation. Did that go on the ground? Look at me. Look at us.
You're getting it. I thought. There's probably just a full on live stream or maybe shorter form videos, which are just different visualization options. I mean, how do you want to show things like this?
Yeah.
Like I was saying before with buildings, a lot of times you want less detail because you don't want to take any attention away from the star, which is your work. Same probably goes for this sort of stuff. Like I said, I've seen good context which had details, and I've seen good context which had almost nothing. So
yeah, and then you've seen like kind of the best context you've ever seen, where it's like this one
today,
right here.
Yes.
Look at
Yes. I have never seen context like this before.
that. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay.
No, I think this is cool. I think honestly we just you hit on a whole lot for one thing. And we hit on half a dozen different ways to do this. So um and I gotta say, like I said a while ago, you got some good options for thumbnails. They're all gonna look good. That's really what it's
Mm-hmm.
about.
That's right.
Get the clicks. Get the clicks.
Um, I've seen in the thumbnail for this one, I've seen people do like kind of the outline of the area where you could build within, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that's something I can just add in here real quick. I'm thinking of the thumbnail. Like you said earlier.
Well, you could take those because you have that dotted line layer, right? Or tag. Ooh,
Yes.
dollar in the layer jar.
This one?
Because you could actually, yeah, but that's you could no, you'd have to change the whole thing to color. I was just thinking you could color those lines, those edges, but then you have to do that for the whole model. Turn it all to color by.
Color by material, and then
Yeah,
I mean I could do it in color by tag. I mean, I don't I just
that's true. Context.
because all this stuff could just be switched. Are these all untagged probably? Uh let me this. What would a professional call trees in their model?
Foliage.
Sounds fancy.
That sounds hard to spell.
Foliage. 2025, maybe I'll ask for a spell checker in SketchUp. That's my request. um, okay, so I have, maybe I'll just try to straight up take this, put it in here. Line this up with this, and then up, up, vertical. So are you saying to drop it down or to use this as like a...
Yeah, you could put it just above the ground.
Or like what I was saying is kind of having like a volume
Yeah.
of the area, like the buildable area kind of.
Yeah, that always looks cool. Like a 50% or a low fill, like a big jello box
Yeah.
over where you can build. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. And
You could actually use that too. You could just push pull, close that face, and then push pull it.
Yeah.
And yes, in case you're wondering, jello box is a technical term, and your urban design people use that term all the time.
Jelly. If you shake the model, then it jiggles. Like a salmon color. I got to use the...
Ooh. I like that. Oh, see, there you go. Sorry, Windows users. Right in your face.
And I did find one more piece of information about this, is that there was some geospatial data. I don't know what you call this type of data, but GIS for this particular site that has information on the local building codes and says that the max building height is 22 meters. So does that mean from the highest point, or from like at the top of the building would kind of go down along with this terrain?
I'm not sure how that works with. I'm assuming that's the highest point to the highest point. So I think that would be from the highest ground point straight up would be 22 meters, and then that plane would go across. But I do not know that for sure.
Okay.
If that description made sense. I'm gesturing with my hands right now. If that helps.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could just straight up pull this down all the way through the ground. Does that look good? Not really. I don't know.
I don't want to argue with your color selection, but I think the salmon might be a little too dark.
Okay.
You may have to go with a summer peach or something along those lines.
Summer peach. Which one is that?
I don't know. I just made that up. Sounded good though, right?
Here's one thing that I have not problems, but like I always get confused on is if I want to edit a material that exists in my model, like do I select it in here and then say edit?
So double click on it there.
Double click.
Are you in your, yeah, there you go. And then click it down below. And now if you go like to the color wheel or the, yeah, so now you can, there you go.
Okay. And that is changing it there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be, yeah, should be changing that
and then
anywhere it exists.
To be done with that, I just hit close or back out of the tool or what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Set it down and walk away. Perfect.
Maybe it's too transparent.
Ooh.
Does that stand out enough or should it be like yellow or something? Maybe it should be yellow.
Yeah. Brighter might work better.
I know you said that before, but what do you mean brighter? Like how much brighter do I go? Like this?
I don't know. I don't like. Well, it's hard because your background color is kind of yellowy.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe an orange. What about a nice orange? You like how I just put nice in front of the name of the color and that's supposed to help?
Yeah, orange.
Not a bad orange, but a nice orange.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good. I like that. I mean, come on. I mean, thumbnail. Now is when I would play the applause sound if I had the soundboard.
Save will have to do.
Save. And Eric recommended this is a little while, but we're dealing with a little bit of time lag.
Yeah.
He said he uses the term vegetation.
Vegetation. Fancy. Well, here we are.
Looks good.
Here we are.
I like it. I think that is a whole lot of good learning. I like it. I think it turned out well.
Well, cool. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I don't know if I'd say the same thing, but I know we're close to time, so maybe I'll just quickly go through what we did or didn't do. So this is the one that I did with the built-in add location. So I had like the higher resolution stuff around here and then the lower further away, kind of manually tried to, if you can see that. I'll go back to this. Tried to add some buildings, whatever. This was the PlaceMaker one that we did third, which, you know, has trees in it. There depends on where, you know, if my building was over here, it would have these super nice looking 2D trees that automatically get brought in where they really exist. And has a bunch of different options for satellite imagery and different data sets. Nice organization there. And then the Cadmapper one that kind of just brought in the OpenStreetMaps buildings, some roads and stuff that I draped on the terrain, and then our nice orange building zone here with our trees, or vegetation, as I always call it. Um,
Nailed it.
yeah, so I don't know. Was this interesting? If you thought this was a valuable stream, give us a like. I just wanted to try something out. I had done a similar technique to the first way of doing it, drawing manual ones for a project that I did, like a SketchUp animation thing. And I do feel like it feels good when you're done. Like looking
Hmm.
at the final product after you spend a lot of time of
Hmm.
going in, looking at the street view, adding in the details on buildings and stuff. Uh, but it's also just so nice to just have it automatically brought in. And it's so much
Yeah.
faster, and it's just like it's there. So different things you can do, I guess, is hopefully what you can gather from the stream. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I think you. I think anybody watch this would walk away with knowing that there's options. There's time to be spent on the model, and you get to choose where you want to spend it. I mean, if I mean, I always, you know, what I keep referring to the hero. Like, what is the thing that this model is there for, and how do you spend the most time and energy on that one piece? And I think there's some nice options there to go. Okay, I can work on my model, and then everything else, just let an extension bring it in. That's great. And I think that's good. And the feedback is very well. Everybody's giving you thumbs up, giving you props. Well done, and I gotta agree with them.
Well, thanks for that, folks. Appreciate it. Appreciate you sticking around and watching. And yeah, I just want to say to you, have a great weekend. Happy designing if you're getting into SketchUp or any other kind of design. And shoot, hey, thanks for hanging out, Aaron. It was a fun one.
Yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it, and I gotta admit, I did learn some things, and there's some stuff I want to try. So good job.
Love it. Hey, thanks. All right. Have a good one, all. Take care.
All right, see you next week.